Welcome to the Virtual College Exploration for all North and South Carolina students, sponsored by the Carolinas Association of Collegiate Registrars and Admissions Officers and StriveScan. Thank you all for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many sessions happening, so be sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO.org. This presentation is being recorded and will be available within about a week at the same website, CACRAO.org. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters.
Well, thank you, Madeline, and welcome everyone to the Trident Technical College information session. My name is Alan Barbosa. I work as a recruiter at Trident Tech. So let me get set up here real quick. And once I am set up here, I just want to let you know that we are going to talk about the college, the student services we have to offer you, the admission process, dual credit classes, the youth apprenticeship program. Also, we have with us one of my coworkers and fellow recruiters, Mr. Mark Yerty, and he is going to talk about the Hub, which is our orientation center, and he also is going to explain how navigators will help students. He also will include some financial aid information. All services that you will hear about today, provided by Trident Technical College, are free to students, except perhaps for repeating the AccuPlacer placement test at our campuses. You can take the AccuPlacer test multiple times for free at your high school, okay? So let's get started, okay? So Trident Technical College is a public 2-year multi-campus community college located in Charleston, South Carolina, an open-door institution of higher education. Trident Technical College is committed to being accessible and responsive to community needs. We have 4 campuses. You can see here in the top left, that's Palmer campus. And the top right, that's Thornley campus. That's actually our biggest campus. Bottom left is the Mount Pleasant campus, and the bottom right is the Berkeley campus. Okay, that's in Morse Corner. Overall, we have more than 150 programs to study, so we do have a lot of classes to choose from. I want you to pay attention to the last fact right here. Right now we have 4 campuses, but pretty soon we are going to open a 5th campus, and it will be in Dorchester Road and Somerville around the Oakwood area. So that is something that we are looking forward to. Now, I would like to show you the map of Thornley campus. This is our largest campus. I'm not going to hit everything in the map, but I want to point out some buildings and programs, where they are located, and give you some information about, some of these buildings and programs, okay? So you can see the big arrow right there in the top left. That's our 1000 building. This is the South Carolina Aeronautical Training Center. It is our newest building, just opened in the fall last year. You can see it right there. Now, our South Carolina Aeronautical Training Center is over 200,000 square feet. It has 2 hangars and houses all the aeronautical and several engineering, manufacturing, and maintenance programs. Now, if you scroll a little bit to the bottom of the map right here, you will see the 950 building. That's the Bookstore, Wellness Center, Film, Media, and Visual Arts building. Now, the Bookstore provides the students with products, services, and technologies that ensure academic success. They provide excellent customer service and competitive pricing. Now, the Wellness Center is a fitness facility open to students and employees at not charge. So in other words, it's free. It houses a large aerobic room, free weights, cardio equipment, fitness classes, locker rooms, and showers. The media and visual art students pursue careers in film and media production, graphic design, multimedia, photography, and website design. Students frequently assisted in the production of TV shows that were made in the Charleston area, including Trident Tech campuses. Now, if you go a little bit towards the middle, you will see the 920 building. The 920 building actually is the complex for economic development. The college center is in the front of the building. Let me go back up a little bit here because yes, it's right there. And some of the programs that are located in here are the Riley's restaurant is actually located in the front of the building and is completely operated by students. So we do have two restaurants that are classroom. One is in Palmer campus, and this one is the biggest one that is in Thornley campus. Then, also you will find here in the 920 building, the math center. Students are able to meet with math instructors and obtain assistance for all levels of math. The math center holds classes, offer walk-in and by appointment tutoring, and the math center faculty and staff are all want to make sure the students succeed. And remember, these services are free to the students. Now you go up a little bit on the map, you will see the 970 building. Now this is the state-of-the-art nursing building. We have one of the highest pass rates in the state for students passing the boards. So that tells you a lot about the program of nursing. Another also building related to health science is the 630 building, which you can see right there in the top right. The building 630 contains most of the other health science programs that we have at Trident, like medical assistant, dental hygiene, occupational therapy, radiology technology, pharmacy tech. There is several ones. The most popular ones, in my opinion, are physical therapy, radiology, and dental hygiene. So something that you might be interested in. You can see some of the pictures there of the students actually and their classes and their labs. Some of these students actually do some lecture classes and they will do some clinicals. So they will be going to hospital clinicals, clinics around the area so that they can practice everything they learn in the classroom. Now let's look at the bottom of the map here. Now you are seeing here the 800, 700 building. That actually is our vet center, which is a great way to network with other veterans attending TTC, just in case you are related to a veteran. They receive vet benefits assistance. And it's quite, it's a quiet space to go study too. They also have a place like that. Now, it's located in the 700 building in room 201. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19, they are not currently open until further notice, okay? However, you might contact their office through live chat, through military programs and services on the TTC website, just in case, right? Now, in the 800 building, this building houses industrial programs like air conditioning and refrigeration, machine tool technology, automotive technology, and others. Now let's go to the map one more time. You can see in the bottom right, that's the 100 building. This is our general education and public safety building. If you are interested in taking your gen ed classes and then transferring to a 4-year college or university, you will be taking most of your classes here in this building. Public safety is also based in this building. TTC's Department of Public Safety is committed to keeping you safe on campus. They provide law enforcement, crime prevention, emergency management, and environmental health and health safety services to all of the Trident campuses. Now you go a little bit to the right, that's the building 200. Legal studies, business, childhood, and family studies are located there. So you will find programs like paralegal, criminal justice, small business entrepreneurship, accounting, early caring education, and human services. Those are just some of the programs located here. Now, this is the building 400, one of my favorite buildings, because one time in my life I was a welder, and I had to tell you, if you are interested in welding, you will be surprised how unique this building is. So they have pretty much offered the latest welding technology as well as traditional welding skills, training, and good, and a good foundation in basic welding theory, metallurgic, and blueprint reading. If you see the map one more time, I am pointing out right there to building 510. That is our library and writing center. And the entrance is pretty much right there in the front of the building. You just go into the building, where it says library, of course, and then you take a right and you will be in the library. Now, Trident has libraries at the Thornley, Palmer, and Berkeley campuses, which is, providing an extensive collection of electronic resources, including books, academic films, and online journals with articles in all subject areas. And the librarians are there, able to provide many of these services remotely. The Writing Center offers both in-person and online tutoring options for students at Trident Tech. So again, these services is free. Tutors help students identifying pretty much their strengths and weaknesses in writing and guide them towards, improving their skills. Building 500, this is the hub in student employment. I told you a little bit earlier that Mr. Yurt is going to talk about the hub a little bit more. I just want to point out, where the hub is, but you will be hearing about that more about that in a minute. Now, student services is in the second floor in this building right there. So if you need assistance, perhaps with your resume, writing your resume. They also will help you with mock interviews, and pretty much overall improving your soft skills so that the day that you are trying to find a job, your odds are going to be in your favor. Now, if you look at those tiny two little buildings right there, the 420 and the 430, that's where the Educational Opportunity Center and Scholars Network is located. The Educational Opportunity Center actually is a federal program at TTC designed to assist adults in obtaining education beyond the high school GED level. They assist individuals in completing admissions and financial aid applications to any accredited college or university. And of course, Trident is included in there. Now, the Scholars Network provides financial and personal counseling, academic tutoring, academic advising, and career planning. Also, they offer professional development experiences, which are free to students. And also, they advise students about transferring to four-year college and universities. Overall, they will make your college experience a little bit better. Now, I will say that to me, this is the heart of Trident Building 410. That's actually our student center. In our student center, you will find many of our student services programs like admissions, registrar office, the business office, counseling, and services for students with disability, financial aid, testing, and student life. The services offered here are also available at the other campuses. Now, this group of students ambassadors, the picture you're seeing right now is from the student ambassadors from 2019 to 2020. Our student ambassadors represent Trident Tech on campuses, college events, and provide tours to prospective students. They also represent Trident of campus, high school, and community functions in the Tri-County area. Now, last year, almost 2,000 high school students enrolled in dual credit classes. Okay, so this program gives high school students the chance to take classes, college classes, while they still in high school. Students can take classes at their school, if the classes are offered there, of course, or at any Trident Tech campuses, or even online. Dual credit classes allow high school students the opportunity to earn college credit that will also count towards high school graduation requirements. So that's something, that's a win-win situation. Now, let me see right here. So let's talk about the admission and registration in dual credit classes. It's a little bit different than the regular even application. So the students that qualified will need to complete a dual credit application. And this one is a little bit different from the regular Trident Tech application. A couple of differences are that your parent and your high school principal or counselor will need to sign the application. If you are homeschooled per se, the application must be signed by your parent and a district administrator that has jurisdiction over the home school. So the best thing to do if you are interested in taking dual credit classes is to contact your high school counselor for assistance. Now, very soon I will show you the contact person for dual credit classes here at Trident Tech. You can contact this person for help as well. Now, this other picture is the picture of the last group of high school students that were selected as the new youth apprentices. They just have come out of the college center at Thornton campus after signing their 2-year contract. You might be asking yourselves, but what is the Charleston Regional Apprenticeship Program? Well, this is a unique opportunity for rising juniors, seniors, and graduating seniors to receive pay on the job training with job-related education at Trident Tech. Now, if you are selected, you will be assigned a mentor from a regional company in any of these fields. You can see them there. We have 2 new ones. Welding is one of those, and pharmacy technician. And then, uh, you get a mentor, you get paid while you are receiving on the job training. At the same time, you'll be taking classes at Trident Tech related to that field. In addition, there is funding that is provided, for you to cover the costs of tuition, books, and materials for the apprenticeship related college course. So in other words, it will be free to you, plus you will be getting paid what you are learning. So this is a great opportunity. Now let's talk about the application process for the youth apprenticeship program. So in order to apply, the first thing that you need is to have qualifying test scores. Okay, so in some cases, the ACT or ACT test scores can be used. If you are a senior and your GPA is at least a 3.0, you can continue with the application process. Now, as you can see right here in the slide, the next step is to complete the application packet. Now, this packet consists of several things like the application, a cover letter, a resume, 2 recommendation forms, etc. Within the application package, you will see instructions and samples of how to complete everything. But if you need help, I suggest you contact your high school counselor, or the coordinator for the program here at Trident Technical College, Ms. Ellen Kaufman. I will show you her contact information in a minute, so don't worry about that. So after you finish the application package, you or your school will need to submit it to Trident Tech. Trident then will send the application packet to the participating employers. The employer will interview the selected candidate. The employer offers the job or apprenticeship, and then the student accepts, declines or declines the offer. Trident and your school will arrange everything else, such as your schedule for dual credit classes at your high school or at Trident Tech, also your high school classes, your schedule at your high school, and as well as your on-the-job training and schedule. So you have to be really committed to this because this is a 2-year commitment, okay? So you have to think about it real carefully. Now, before you even try to complete the application, make sure that you have met at least all these requirements, okay? So you are not wasting time. So that you are a rising junior, senior, or graduating senior, that you are at least 16 years old, you have qualifying scores, you demonstrated academic readiness and responsibility, that you have reliable transportation, because yes, you are going to be going from your job, training, to your school, even perhaps even to Trident Tech. And one of the last thing is that you are legally able to work in the United States, okay? So I know this is a lot of information about the youth apprenticeship program. So after this event is done, whenever CACRAO will send us your contact information, I think you remember Miss Madeline talking about that it could take up to a week, but as soon as we get that, your contact information, we are going to send you an electronic binder with a lot of information, including the contact information for all these people. Okay, so but in the meantime, if you need assistance, questions for dual credit classes or the youth apprenticeship program, you can contact Ms. Tanisha Hook for the dual credit classes, and for the apprenticeship program, you can contact Ms. Ellen Kaufman. All right. So now let's talk about the areas of interest of Trident Technical College. So I told you we offer around 150 different programs to study. So when it comes to the programs to study, we have 10 areas of interest. Your major falls into one of these areas of study. And if you are undecided about, what kind of program you are deciding to take, this might help you a little bit. If you don't have enough time to read all these slides, don't worry about it. They will record this presentation and you will be able to log in later on and take a look at it, okay? So, but I always tell the students, if you are ready to come to Trident Tech, perhaps take 2 classes there for a couple of years, and then you want to transfer to a 4-year university, most students will either pick the associate in arts or the associate in science, unless, let's say, you're going into nursing, which you can still do 2 years at Trident Tech and then transfer to a 4-year university and get your bachelor's degree in nursing, or even engineering. Engineering, we have agreements with the Citadel where you can do 2 years at Trident and then transfer to the Citadel or even Clemson University. And what this agreement means to you, they call it 2+2, is that they are going to be waiting for you and they are going to be saving you a spot. So you don't compete with everybody else. So just in case you are interested about that. Okay, let's talk about now the application process. This is our website. Once you find the home page, the first thing that you are going to do is just go to where it says apply to Trident Tech. Okay, and then once you click in there, it's going to take you to the admissions office page. Right, you scroll a little bit down and click where it says right there, step number 1, apply/admissions, and then it's going to take you to the application menu. Click where it says create your account. By the way, I want to say this, just in case I have anybody in the audience here that is a dual credit student or perhaps even a youth apprenticeship apprentice. You are taking dual credit classes, so that means you are already our student. You do not need to apply again. What you need to do is complete an information update form and submit it to the admissions office. And that electronic binder that I told you that we will send you when we get your contact information, that form is going to be in there just in case. Okay, so once you do that, you create your account. They will send you an email. You have to verify the email and you will be able to, pretty much complete the application. You will be able to submit it for free. So there's no need for a code or anything like that. Now, something that is very important, you will need to provide proof of English and math proficiency. So pretty much, to be placed in different level classes, let me put it, for example, if you graduated from high school within the last 5 years, or you will be graduating from high school, and you made a 3.0 GPA or more, then, we need to see your final high school transcript, and that will take care of it. So no worries about even taking a test. You will be placed in college level classes right away. Now, if that doesn't apply to you, and then we can accept qualifying scores from the SAT or ACT. If you don't have the minimum scores, you just take the IQ Placer test, which is our placement test. Okay, so no problems there. Let me see. Any other, well, let me say this, now that I see it right here real quick. What is a navigator? Mr. York is gonna talk about that, what it is, but what it is this person is gonna be assigned to you and is gonna be your best friend as a brand new student, because that person is gonna make sure that you complete everything that is required for you, and also to be able to take classes. So you'll learn a little bit more about that in a minute. Okay, so, and then, you know, any other remaining admission requirements, you need to submit that to the admissions office, like official proof of high school graduation, or if you have a GED, your final high school transcript can be used for two purposes. If you finish with a 3.0 weighted GPA, automatically you will be the recipient of the Life Scholarship. Mr. Yerti will talk a little bit more about that, but that means also that you don't have to even take a test, okay? You need to show proof of legal presence in the United States. For most people, this is usually a South Carolina driver's license or state ID, okay? So let's talk about the login portal. You know, every college or university will have a way to communicate with you as a student. So this is really important because you will be receiving information and how to log in the student portal. And you can see actually several things in your portal, but the most important thing that you will be able to see here is actually your Trident text email, okay? And I cannot stress enough how important it is to, you know, always check your email, because sometimes the college will send you an email requesting more information. One thing that I know happens a lot at Trident Tech is that everybody that completes the free application for federal student aid, you know, out of all this group of people, 33% or so will be required to do an extra procedure that they call it verification. And usually the admission, not the admission, the Office of Financial Aid, they will send you an email telling you that you were selected for this procedure. And this comes from the Department of Education, by the way. So, and in order to receive funds, you will have to complete this extra procedure. So that's why it's so important. And of course, if a teacher needs to communicate with you, guess what? They are going to send you an email. All right, so that's why it's so important. Now the hub, this is a picture of our hub. It's in the 400 building. Mr. Susan Martin is one of our navigators. You know, she will tell you a little bit about it. Not her, I mean, Mr. Yurti is going to talk to you about it. But another thing that I want to tell you before I let Mr. Yerti take over here is that when you fill out your application through your student portal, you will be able to see who is your academic advisor navigator. And that's what I was saying earlier, that's your best friend, okay? So let me turn it over to Mr. Yerti. Mr. Yerti, it's all yours.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Barboza. As Mr. Barboza mentioned a few minutes ago, Trident Tech has a lot of students. We had over 11,000 in the spring semester, but you know what? Every student is special to us. We want to make sure that you don't fall through the cracks because we have so many students. We want to make sure that you are able to take care of everything that you need to do, that you aren't skipping things. And so we've set up the hub in order to take care of students that way. So first-time students, the very first thing you do after submitting your application is go to the hub. And we're going to talk a little bit about that. Okay, the hub is the first stop for new, returning, and prospective students as well. Trident Tech serves many students, and we want to make sure that no one gets lost in the shuffle, like I mentioned. So in the hub, you are guided through the admissions process, and you'll learn about your TTC portal and the Navigate platform. You'll also learn about many of the resources at the college, several of which you've heard about within the last few minutes. And you'll be referred to one or more of the services if needed. The Student Resource Center is also in the hub. Students at Trident use several systems, and the Student Resource Center can help you with any technological needs, as well as providing information to the students looking to start at Trident and then transfer to four-year colleges. Like Mr. Barbosa mentioned, they often host representatives from four-year colleges to meet with students. So you definitely want to get in contact with the Student Resource Center in the hub if you are planning on starting at Tech, going 2 years, and then transferring to a four-year school. Okay. What's a navigator? A navigator is simply a person to help you navigate the system. A navigator is your initial advisor and not only walks you through the process, but also discusses your academic goals. And for most programs, your navigator will register you for classes. Navigators provide information to students and are your initial point of contact if you have any questions about any of the processes, the admissions process, the academic advising, counseling and career service, or any other areas. You can always contact your navigator. Navigators also assign students to academic advisors, and the academic advisors are faculty members, and they will do that when the time comes. For most programs, for students going full-time, navigators usually register students for classes for the first year and then turn them over to the faculty advisors. Okay, and on the screen now, this is how you can reach the hub. You see the phone number, chat, email, or you can access the web page. So several methods of reaching the hub. Okay, and financial aid. This is our lead financial aid officer, Ms. Laura Walker, and she will be more than happy to assist you. And at the end, we're going to show you some contact information, and we will show you her contact information specifically. The financial aid office, what we do, the financial aid office helps students to work through the financial aid process and to find the best way to pay for college. Financial aid officers are located on all campuses. Mr. Barbosa mentioned a minute ago that we have 4 campuses and soon to have 5, and we will have a financial aid office at every campus. The first step for most students is to fill out a FAFSA, and the FAFSA stands for Free Application for Federal Student Aid. The FAFSA is required for most types of federal and state aid and for some scholarships. So for most people, the FAFSA is the foundation of the financial aid. It's usually the first thing that you'll do. And financial aid is simply any type of financial assistance to help students and families pay for college and college-related expenses. The financial aid award package takes into consideration the cost of attendance, the expected family contribution, and your financial aid eligibility. Your award package will give you a brief description of each award type that you're eligible to receive. And you'll see on the right the types of financial aid scholarships. These are usually based on some type of achievement, either academic or performance. Grants. These are this is need-based aid, and it's usually related to family income and assets. Next, loans. In a nutshell, this is money that has to be repaid. So if you take out a loan, just know in advance it is different from scholarships, grants, or any other type of aid. It's money that has to be repaid. Employment. This is most common in the form of work study, and students have jobs. Most of the jobs are on campus, but not always. But it is a type of financial aid, and you're getting paid for this, and money is coming from the financial aid funding source. Could be the federal government, could be an institution, but it is a part of financial aid. Okay. As far as the South Carolina Life Scholarship, again, Mr. Barbosa mentioned this a minute ago. The criteria to receive the Life Scholarship. The eligibility at a 2-year institution is different from a 4-year institution. For a 2-year institution, you simply graduate from a South Carolina high school with a 3.0 cumulative GPA. And this, excuse me, this is based on the South Carolina Uniform Grading Policy. And this is why we need your transcripts. If you have a 3.0 2 months before you graduate and you submit that, then that's nice, but we can't take it. We have to have your final transcript showing that you made a 3.0 GPA or above. For 4-year institutions, you have to earn 2 out of the following 3 requirements. That 3.0 GPA, just like the 2-year, but they also add in 1100 SAT or 24 ACT, and you need to rank at the top, in the top 30% of your graduating class. Now, you don't have to do all 3, but you do have to do 2, you have to meet 2 out of those 3 requirements in order to get the Life Scholarship at a 4-year institution. Okay. And this is the way to communicate. The primary forms of communication from financial aid. Email, Mr. Barbosa mentioned that a minute ago. Students should monitor their emails at least once per week, and I would bump that up to 2 or 3 times per week, because look at that first sentence. TTC's financial aid office primarily communicates through a student's my.tridenttech.edu email. Primarily communicates through email. I've been with the college for a good while. I've seen students lose their financial aid. They had financial aid, but the school required more information from them, and because they didn't check their email, because they didn't submit that additional information simply because they didn't know they had to, they lost their financial aid. And so it is critical that students check their email. So you need to check your Trident Tech email. Also, financial aid self-service. This is a program where you can go online into your account and you can take a look at a checklist, and it'll tell you what you need to do and what you haven't done yet, what you need to do and what you've already done. So it goes down a checklist, and that's important too. Okay. All right, let's talk about free tuition. This is a program that we've offered this current school year, and that we're offering this current school year. And when we say free, that's what we mean. The criteria is, if you look on the screen, you'll see A, B, C, and D. On the left side of the page, you have to apply and be admitted to the college. Or if you've attended Trident before, then you'll submit an admissions update form. Second, you have to choose your major from one of the 70+ programs listed on the other side. And if you'll look to the right, these are the eligible programs. Now, Mr. Barbosa mentioned that we had over 150 programs. So this is about half of the programs that we're offering free tuition on. You also have to complete a FAFSA. I just mentioned that, just talked about that. And the last thing, you have to take a minimum of 6 credits per semester that are required for your major. In other words, if you are in one field and you decide, hey, I want a computer class, but it's not part of that program, that doesn't count. So you have to take a minimum of 6 credits per semester that are in your major, and that's pretty much it. And you can get free tuition for those classes. Okay, let's go ahead and pull up the contact information. Okay, this is contact information. What I would recommend you do is take your phone out and get a picture of this, because we get hundreds of calls every week for students that want to know the contact information for these offices, And so take your phone out, take a picture of it, very important. Okay, let's go ahead and see if we have any questions. So, Mr. Gutierrez, do we have any questions in the chat box?
There are currently no questions in the chat box.
Okay. Well, while we're waiting, we'll give it just a couple of minutes to see. Let me talk a little bit more about the Life Scholarship. I mentioned a little bit ago about the Life Scholarship and that a 3.0 is required, but you also have to maintain that 3.0 in order to continue getting the Life Scholarship in the following year. So in order to renew your Life Scholarship, you really have to do two things. You have to maintain that 3.0 or above GPA, and in addition to that, you have to complete 30 non-remedial credits. There can't be any remedial classes. It has to be 30 credits in your major. You have to do that unless you're starting in the spring semester and you qualify for the Life Scholarship. In that case, it would be 15 credits. But it's very important to maintain your GPA and make sure that you're taking all the credits that you need. Now, you have an entire year if you're starting in the fall. Excuse me. You have the fall semester, you have the spring semester, and you have the summer semester. But we highly recommend that you get them done in the fall and spring, because the Life Scholarship at Trident Tech will cover almost all the tuition. Not quite 100%, but it'll cover almost all the tuition at Trident Tech. And if you don't quite make your 30 credits then you can use the summer, but you don't have that Life Scholarship money for the summer. So you may be paying out of pocket for that. So that's why we encourage people to really work on completing their 30 credits in the fall and the spring. Okay,
We have a question.
Other questions?
Yes, we have one question. Is there any help for foreign students?
Alan, you want to take that?
Yes, we do have, as a matter of fact, an international coordinator at Trident Tech. There is all kinds of students that would like to come to Trident Tech. And for example, I am Hispanic myself, and I get a lot of questions about if a student that comes to Trident Tech can take classes if they just have, let's say, a tourist visa. Now, if you are a foreigner from other country and you have just a tourist visa, when it comes to public colleges and universities in South Carolina, you are not going to be able to actually be admitted to the college. You need a special visa, right? Once we determine that either you're an asylum, you're protected by DACA, you have, let's say, the U visa or any other visa that would allow you to take classes in a college, you know, we can help you that way. We have some questions, some scholarships specifically for foreign students. So you can contact us later to see if we can give you more information about help. And by the way, guys, if you didn't have any time to get your questions answered, when we get the contact information, we also will receive the question that we couldn't answer, okay? So thank you so much for your question. Any other questions, Renee?
That is all the questions we have.
Thank you. And I think we are just about done, aren't we, Ms. Madeline?
Yes, so I was just getting this presentation pulled up real fast. I apologize, it's taking a second. But thank you all for joining us, and thank you to our amazing presenters for all of this great information. When you close this window, there will be a link to a very quick 4-question survey, and we'd really appreciate any feedback that you guys can provide. Also, this was just one of many sessions being hosted, so be sure to check out the full schedule at CACRAO.org. In about a week, you'll be able to find the sessions recording as well as the other sessions recordings at CACRAO.org. Thank you very much and have a great night.